Let me tell you this, shoe companies have been lying to us for years. They'll tell you that depending on your gait, you're going to need a different type of shoe. They're going to tell you that if you supinate where your ankle goes out, you're going to need this type of shoe. If you pronate where your ankle goes in, you're going to need this type of shoe. And if overall, you're going to need cushion in your shoe. But let me tell you, that is absolutely the wrong thing. In none of those cases are you going to need a shoe in which you're going to need high support. And this is why. When you have high support, you're going to end up putting a lot more pressure on your joints, not necessarily in your feet, but in your joints. See, the thing is that if you're cushioning your feet, you don't have awareness of what's going on in your feet. You have 32 bones in your feet, and every single one of those bones is involved in your gait. And if you're not using all 32 of those bones, which is what happens when you have a high cushion shoe, well, then you're going to run into problems somewhere up the chain. Okay? So a high cushion shoe is not going to be something that you want. Not to mention that it also puts your foot at a slightly different angle. So what a lot of shoe companies are now trying to go to is what's called a zero drop shoe. And what that means is that you're going to have less of a drop from your toe to your heel, essentially meaning that you have a flat shoe. Back in the days, there was a shoe called the Chuck Taylor that was pretty much a zero drop shoe. A lot of people swore by it. I know my dad had a couple pairs, and it was a good shoe. And the reason why it was a good shoe is because it was a zero drop shoe. Now, as we started to become more, well, sedentary and less active, well, then we required more cushion in our shoe. What we need to do, instead of buying high cushion shoes, is we need to strengthen our feet. As I said, as I alluded to earlier, we are less mobile. We're less active, meaning that we're more sedentary overall. And what that means is because since we are less sedentary or more sedentary, we're spending less time in our feet. We're spending less time actually using our feet. So at the end of the day, you can do a couple exercises that I'll show you right now that'll help you improve your foot mobility as well as foot strength. One of these exercises is going to be picking up objects with your toes. Now, when you're picking up these objects with your toes, I would advise you to start relatively large, obviously not heavy, but relatively large, like maybe a marble or something like that. And you work your way down to something that's smaller and thinner. Most of the time, when I'm working with my clients on doing this type of activity, I have them do something where they're picking up a piece of paper with their feet. Another exercise you can do that doesn't require any equipment is ankle flexion. You can flex your ankles, you can dorsiflex your ankles, point and flex your feet. You can also just do ankle rotations. Those are going to help you gain that mobility, and that's going to help you gain strength in your ankles and feet. So if you have any more questions or any ideas on how you can strengthen your feet, feel free to put those down below in the comment section. Otherwise, I'd love to hear from you. You can email me, general@generalfitnesscompany.com, with any of your questions or comments that you don't want to put down below, and I will answer them because I answer my emails pretty consistently. All right, thanks again for watching, and as always, keep good company.